Hi everyone, this is Megan. Today I wanted to talk about how to address someone or how to call someone. Of course, if you meet someone randomly on the street, or perhaps if you work in a shop or a hotel and people don't say their names, you can address them as sir, as ma'am, or madam, miss. Those are all appropriate, or Mr. But many times you meet someone and they introduce themselves by name. So you might say, "Hi, my name is Sarah." And they say, "It's nice to meet you, Sarah. My name is Jonathan." Well, if he says his name is Jonathan, you should address him as Jonathan. Some people want to maybe call him John or Johnny, but if he doesn't indicate that that's his name, then you shouldn't assume that you can call him like that. On the other hand, if he says, "My name is Jonathan, but everyone calls me John," or "everyone calls me Johnny," then that's an invitation to address him as John or Johnny, or perhaps even Jonathan. Then you can kind of take your pick what you would prefer to call him. I get this sometimes. My name is Megan, but every now and then some people want to call me Meg. But I introduce myself as Megan. I don't particularly like being called Meg. If someone is a little bit older than you and you don't know them, it might be appropriate to address them as Mr. or Mrs. and their last name. So Mr. Smith or Mrs. Smith. If they're a teacher, Mr. or Mrs. is usually considered proper. A doctor, of course, you would address them as Dr. Smith. If they were a police officer, you might address them as Officer Smith. These are different ways to remain polite. If they wish for you to address them differently, then they will usually say, "No, please don't be so formal. My name is John or Jonathan. You don't have to call me Mr. Smith." My mom is like this. People want to call her Mrs. Wilber. Even my friends when I was growing up, and she always said, no, my name is Renee. You don't have to call me Mrs. Wilber. She says that's my mother-in-law. So not everybody, wants to be addressed the same way. So pay a little bit of attention to how they introduce themselves to you, and that will give you a good clue of how you should address them. And if you're not sure, let's say Jonathan says, "My name is Jonathan," and you think that you might like to call them John or Johnny, you can ask. You can just say, "Well, can I call you John? Or do people call you John?" And if he's welcome to the idea, then he'll say, "Oh, sure, you can call me John." But usually they will offer this up. Some people, like my father, his name is David. All of his family calls him David. So anybody that refers to him as David knows, you know that's family. All of his friends call him Dave. And because he was a police officer for many years, the people that he works with or worked with and people that he knew through his work usually referred to him as Officer Wilber. So just pay a little bit of attention to what people are saying, how they introduce themselves to you, and this will give you a very good idea of how you should address someone. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to comment below in the comment area, and I'll get back to you with any answers I have. Thank you. Bye-bye.